Alright, so we are back with another Ultra Impact video. This time, this is actually one of the things that I think I should be looking at is re-rolling. Now, a lot of you guys are re-rolling, so I might as well put the spotlight on there. This is a tier list where I'm actually going to be ranking the units based on what you should be re-rolling, not who's better. If you want to determine that way, then go ahead, by all means. But I'm going to be telling you guys or ranking the units based on who you should re-roll for and why. Just because. Now, if I actually just go onto my account and switch over right here for a second. Let's see, like this. You can see that I actually have Bokugo already. Now, I've had the account ever since day 1, so I didn't have any problem actually re-rolling for characters that I did have. I think I re-rolled for, let me see. I was trying to re-roll for a couple support units in here. So I actually just go into here. No, wait, in here. I believe I pulled Ochako and Kirashima first, which was very good because I did need some good units in there. And it turns out that I actually did. So it was nice enough for me to actually have them. Now if we go back into here. Now we're going to be doing some testing to see what is actually worth re-rolling for and who's not. I do have some of the stuff up here on the wiki, courtesy of the one and only Hydros. He's the one that actually made this wiki. Make sure you guys go check him out. It's in the link description. I believe all the stuff is in the link description below. If not, I will place it in the comment section. So let's just take a look at this now. We're going to start from the end to the front. Now, there is going to be another unit that's going to be coming out, but I don't believe another UR that's going to be coming out. And it's going to be Air Force Deku, but I don't think he's going to be on the tutorial banner because that's just how it works. And by the way, these are all URs. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be going for the UR, so that's the reason why I'm going to be ranking these guys up anyways. So, let's start with All For One. Should you re-roll for All For One? Is he worth it? Let me take a look at him. What does he do? Okay, so his plus Ultra gives him 600%. Deals 600% to a single enemy, reduces cooldown on actions by 5 on self. That's actually pretty good for a plus ultra right there. His first action skill does Black Nails, does 300% damage to a single enemy, reduces cooldown on ally by 1. 175% to all enemies per 3 turns. Enemy's action skill does 25% less damage. Not bad. This is actually not a bad plus ultra because it does work with this very quickly. And then his auto skill Charisma, when HP is 50% or higher, increases power by 25%. All villains gain 15% crit. His auto skill Mana Pure Evil, when HP is 50% or less. Okay, so he has 2 auto skills and can only be unlocked. Okay, does 50% more damage. Okay, so he does 50% more damage. That's not bad. Since he does work with villains, I can say this right now, this is actually kind of worth re-roll. If you're wanting a re-rolled up villain, I'm gonna say this right now, this guy's actually pretty good in terms of what he can do at the moment. Now, we only have, how many villains do we have in game at the moment? We have only 1, 2, 3 villains in game, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to need Tomura in order for this to work, right? Yeah, you need Tomura and you need Himiko in order to. You could just have Tomura Shigaraki next to All For One and say, oh, this is actually gonna work because that's how he's built. But until they add more units in here, I'd say he's not worth just yet, but he's a pretty good unit villain. He's a strong villain support, so I might as well give him that. Along with that, we have I might as well place him right there. B tier is what I'm assuming. I don't know what his stats are though. I've seen how good he does. Reduces cooldown for 1 ally, and this is pretty much for anyone. But since his auto skill is mostly focused on villains, you're gonna need more villains. But outside of that, he seems pretty fine. Nothing too crazy, but he's still pretty good. So Maybe A tier, that just depends, but okay, maybe I'll leave him at A tier for now. But yeah, he seems pretty good, but they're gonna need to add more villains, and they are going to add Muscular in here. Wait, is Muscular an SR? Or is he not in game yet? Is he not in game? I'm not even sure. I haven't looked at the Discord for a bit this morning, so I probably need to check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna leave All For One right there. He's really good, but they're gonna need more villains in order for his auto skill to work. Momo. Now let me check Momo for a second. She's a very, very good support for blue types, or skill types actually. Yeah, it increases all skill types allies power by 15%, very good. At the start of battle, all allies are immune to 1 debuff. Not bad, and when HP is 50% or less, increases plus ultra gauge by 20%. Now that's pretty damn good for a skill type, because there's Bokugo, who actually is one of the top tier units in the game, which I kind of spoiled the fact that you're going to have to reroll for him. But she is also, if you manage to pull her along with Bokugo in the same tutorial multi, you're pretty much set with this. You're pretty much set with the combo, because not only does she heal and decrease speed, but she also gives power, which is insane. Plus, she makes allies immune to 1 debuff, and it helps increase plus ultra gauge. She's that good. She has a lot of great support, but she still needs to be on the field. If it were in the back like Grand Cross, that would be broken. But she's still very good. So, given the fact that how crazy she is, where is she at? Right here. She is pretty much one of the top tier units I would damn want you guys to try and go for. If not, maybe like the second highest unit you would want to pull along with Bokugo. That's the reason why this is the reason why I like her as a unit herself. She also gives plus ultra gauge on her plus ultra. So how about that, kids? Would you want something like this? I would want her first. Next up we have Bokugo. Oh, everyone knows how good Bokugo is already. I have it myself, like I said. Let's see. Does 600% to single enemy, increases power by 40 if enemy is burned. That's only his plus ultra. His first action skill, AP shot, gives him 300% to single enemy with a medium chance to burn for 3 turns. I'm going to assume this medium chance is like 20 or 30%. It's not going to be hitting us often, but it's really cool. But it's still a good chance to burn. When this skill is used in a chain and succeeds, increases enemy's defense by 15%. That is something I haven't seen yet, so that's pretty good. Because if you use this skill in a chain, it makes it easier to beat your opponents. His second skill, Stun Grenade, does 175% to all enemies, deals a medium chance to inflict blind. And okay, that's really good. This medium chance is still 20 to 30%. So I forget what blindness does. I think it stuns? No, I don't think so. I might think it stuns. It's similar to stun, but I'll have to keep using him. And then his first auto skill, King Explosion Murder. When HP is 50% or above, increases own power by 25%, increases power by 5% per defeated enemy. That's actually pretty good. So I'm not sure how much the max will be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 15% if you defeat every enemy in one stage, because the maximum amount of enemies you could probably have is 3, I believe, and the minimum amount is obviously 1, so about 5 to 15% is going to be added on top of that 25% power increase. His second auto skill, Explosive Swag, whenever HP is 50% or above, increases speed by 25% and increases 3% power every turn up to a max of 30. If this is calculated separately on top of this, it's gonna be huge. But if it's added, it's okay as well. He's still really good no matter what. But otherwise, he is a powerhouse, and using him along with Momo really does help him out, considering that she also gives blue type allies power by 15%. So he's gonna be rocking it pretty fast. I'd say these are the 2 units you really want to go for if you want to build up your blue team. Next up we have Ochako or Araraka. Where is she at exactly? She's a great green unit if you're planning on making a green unit or knowledge type units. She's also really good. She gives crit by 15%, which isn't bad, you know. I'd rather have power than crit, but that's just my opinion. But it does give you higher chances of actually critting with the amount of power that you have. So, let's see what she does. So, plus Ultra, weightless rock drop, obviously 550% to a single enemy, and increases crit to all allies by 20% for 3 turns. Very good. So, on top of her crit that she gets on her auto skill, she also gives crit on her plus Ultra. Very nice indeed. She also heals, just like Momo. But she removes one status condition. What does she do? Gives all allies dodge. Okay. She gives all allies evasion, which is dodge basically, which is it's really good. Even though it has a longer turn cooldown than Momo's. I prefer that she had 6 turns than 7 turns. That kind of brings it down a bit. But she's still pretty good. Gunhead Martial Arts, her second action skill, does counters normal attacks for 3 turns, increases on power by 25% for 3 turns, and has a 6-turn cooldown. And then her second auto skill, when evasion is active, which is basically her first action skill, increases speed by 30%. I wonder, does that make her good now? Because there's a lot of versatility in here. She gives green crit. She does counter. And if you activate this is going to pop off. This is not bad. That's not bad actually. I'd say she goes up here along with Bokugo and Momo, just because of how good she is for green type units. So if you guys really want her, I might as well tell you to go for her. Let's see. Hawks. Where is he at? Is he right here? There we go. Hawks is actually pretty neat actually. I actually do have him right here on my account. So if I actually just pull him up right now. Yeah, I have Hawks like right here. He's actually pretty good as a green unit. Or not. This is what happens when you actually do leave your VPN not on. I'll try to change that later on. But as you guys can see, Hawks is actually pretty damn good as a unit. Let's see, what does he do again? Does 550% to a single enemy, increases power by 30% if enemy has a speed debuff. I looked in here. She doesn't do speed debuffs, which is a little unfortunate, but he still works. Increases ally speed by 15% for 3 turns. Does go well along with Ochako. His second action skill, 325% to a single enemy. All allies get a second attack chance for 2 turns. Okay. He is very useful because of this. And if you do give it to Bokugo as well, it also does work as well. At the start of turn, all allies get 1 attack of it. Okay, this is the reason why I like this unit. It's because of his first auto skill. He gives the ability to dodge for everyone. He also gets the ability to dodge. That's the reason why I like him. Ochako does the same thing, applies evasion to all allies for 1 turn, but guarantees dodge for 1 attack, which is really good for a support. If you guys really want a green type or knowledge team, these 2 I'd say I would damn go for. And then increases power when evasion is active, and that's where she comes in. She applies evasion to all allies for 1 turn. He'll pretty much get that buff right away with his second auto skill. But is he worth trying to reroll for? Personally, I say yes, because he's actually that kind of good unit. But, let me see, what is stats? Let's see. Oh wow, actually their HP is the same in their base. Their base HP is pretty much the same. That's insane. Okay. Would I recommend pulling for her? I'd say I recommend trying to re-roll for Hawks. So yeah, I'll leave him at S tier. 4 units are really good, obviously. Let's see, Tomura Shigaraki, another villain, huh? He's the second UR villain that you would want if you're making a villain team. He's a really good support on the field for villain allies. I recommend it. But considering that we don't have enough villains compared to heroes, I might as well place him on A tier next to All For One just because of how he works. Because he gives it's a really good auto skill. The problem is there's not enough villains for him to actually work by himself besides All For One, who's a great villain support as well. And he's only effective against pro heroes. Like, he's stronger against pro heroes, so if there's a pro hero, he gets this. If there's a pro hero, he gives spear. If there's a pro hero, he does more damage. But if there isn't, he's just a plain unit. He's a plain unit that doesn't really do much, and he only increases his own power. That's pretty much the gist of this guy. There's nothing really much to talk about him because he's okay, I like this unit, but they could have done a little more. But let me see how many pro heroes do we have in the hero section. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 that we know right now, but there's also pro heroes such as was it Gran Torino? That's in there. There's Endeavor. I believe that's it. I probably need to look into the game a little more to find out what other pro heroes are in there. But he's more effective against pro heroes, but I don't recommend re-rolling for him just because, like I said, he's only effective against pro heroes. But maybe I could place him right here and just say that if you pull for him and you pull him along with All For One, that's good because they both can support each other. But if you just pull him, I don't think it's worth it, so you might have to re-roll again. But he's still a pretty decent unit. Next up we got Red Izuku Midoriya. I need to put them both next to each other actually, so red and yellow works out pretty well. So if I, let's see, take these guys off. Let's see, let's start with Red Izuku Midoriya, Blow of Luck. Now, let's see. Okay, there are a couple things I do want to say about this guy. One, he's a strong powerhouse. When a crit occurs, increases skill power by 30%. When your HP is 50% or less, increases 10% HP recovery for 3 turns during battle. That's not bad. It does consistently go off. So if you consistently go over 50% and go back down, you'll get this pretty often. And plus, as long as you get crits, you get more skill power. Nothing too crazy. Then you increase your crit rate by 25% if your HP is 50% or less. So this stacks on top of this ability. So that's not bad. There are a couple things I do want to say. One is that his first action skill does do self-inflicted damage, along with his plus ultra, which makes sense, you know. This is, I believe, season 2 Izuku Midoriya, not season 3. If it was season 3, then it would be the yellow one, which I'll go over after this one. Is he worth pulling for? I'd say rough enough. I don't think he's worth pulling, but if you guys really love Midoriya, I'd say go for it. He's a strong powerhouse unit. It does a lot of damage, but then does the self-inflicted damage. If you use units such as Ochako or Momo, that could actually work, because they actually do heal up and Momo removes debuffs, removes one debuff, while Ochako gives dodge or evasion. And I think having him work with Ochako would be like a good balance, especially for units such as him. Plus, plus she does give crits. Let me take a look at it one more time just to be sure. So, just to be sure, I need to look at this one more time. Yeah, gives all allies crit. Yeah, so very useful for units such as him. Having him on the field along with Araraka does make him very useful. So, I'll leave it up to right here. I'd say this is like my number 5 pick, I would say. He's not S tier worthy. I technically don't want to say he's S tier worthy because of how he's actually built. But since he is a crit worthy unit, or a crit eccentric type of unit, you need Ochako along with him so that he can actually get the crits off consistently. Next up we have, was it Yellow Midoriya? Where is he? Yeah, he should be on top of, or below, there we go. Season 3, Izuku Midoriya. Now his plus ultra is shoot style, 500% to single enemy, damage based on enemy speed. Oh, that's a bit different. Let me think about this for a second. Speed, huh? So does his damage increase depending on the amount of speed the enemy has? Or is it just like, oh, this enemy has this much speed, you multiply that by 500% and then there you go. I think that's how it works. It sounds pretty decent, I suppose. It sounds pretty good, I suppose. His first action skill, Full Cali, increases speed by 40%, and fills plus Ultra Gauge by 30%. Okay, that's good. Not only does it increase his speed by 40%, but increases plus Ultra Gauge, which you want to consistently pull off every turn, or every time you activate this. His second action skill, Detroit Smash, does 350%, increases power by 30%, inflicts portion of attacked enemy damage on self. Ah, dude. Not another one of those. Oh, come on. Okay. He also has that crit chance on his second auto skill, and then his first auto skill gives him plus Ultra Gauge. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. Maybe it's not the worst version of the red one, but I think it could work. I'm not sure if you're allowed to actually have the unit of the same name on the same team. I don't know if you could. Let me go into my game right here and actually switch something into here. So I have Midoriya on here, but I can also, no, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna add Midoriya in here. Do I have another Midoriya in here? Oh, I guess you could. Okay, never mind. So you can actually have the same unit. I guess you can have 2 units with the same name on the same team. So yeah, it definitely does work. As long as you give them crit, it does work out perfectly fine. Oh, where is he? Nope, not this one. This one. So this guy is more of a speed-based unit that needs crits, but he does give more plus Ultra Gauge. He does build his own plus Ultra Gauge pretty easily. Although it doesn't give ally. I wish if he gave allies plus Ultra Gauge, that would be amazing, because that would make him so much better. But since he just boosts his own plus Ultra Gauge, it makes sense. Let me see. Yeah. He does work pretty well. I would rank him alongside Red Midoriya just because of how he's built the same way. Next up, Kirashima, huh? Kirashima. Let me see. Where's he at? Kirashima right here. Alright, so his plus ultra does 550% to a single enemy, gains barrier. Yeah, I've used this unit a lot, and it is very good. Like, the barrier does reduce a good amount of damage in here. I think it's like 30% damage reduction, which is pretty neat. And by the way, this guy is a red type support, is a power or red type support. As you guys can see on this first auto skill, all power or red type allies increase power by 15%. So you link them, or so if you put him on there along with the this Midoriya, it actually does work pretty well because he will get more power. But in exchange for that amount of power, he has self-inflicted damage, which I don't mind if you have him along with this guy and then Ochako. It works really well. His second auto skill increases plus ultra gauge by 5% every time you crit, so that's where she comes in. She'll give crit to pretty much everyone that needs it with her plus ultra, alongside with well, not green types, but you guys get the point. She definitely will work pretty well. His first action skill, Red Counter, gives 3 turns per countering all normal attacks, just like Ochako. Insane, right? He's a great support for Red. For 2 turns, reduces self-inflicted self-damage taken by 30%. You see what I mean here? And then his second action skill does a Red Knuckle, does 300% single damage to an enemy, then gains barrier for 3 turns, and it reduces self-damage taken by 30% per 1 turn. And I'm assuming this does stack. Maybe, well, actually no, I don't think it will stack. Actually it could. If you have both of these abilities available and ready to go, you could probably activate this one first and then activate the second one. You'll be taking like 60% damage reduction, which is very good. Otherwise, I think, based on how he works, a strong defensive unit with red type capabilities. Is he worth rerolling? Now you're gonna have to rely on this, or actually no, you're gonna have to rely on this first before relying on this one, because you're gonna need it. So I'd say I recommend it. I recommend re-rolling for this unit a lot. If you get Ochako. If you get Ochako and Kirashima in the same multi, or maybe all 3, it just depends on how your luck is. Or if you actually pull them right after the tutorial banner, which I have already. And, well, not Midoriya, but these 2, they work really well together. So I highly recommend it. So I'll leave it up there. Let's go to Todoroki, and then we'll go to Aizawa afterwards. So if I take all these guys off, I should be able to get them up pretty quickly. So we have Todoroki here, End of Conflict. These are his base stats and everything. Let's start with his plus ultra. Expansion and Cooling Heat Wave. This is basically his attack from Season 2 during the sports festival. Deals damage 50% to a single enemy. Has a medium chance to freeze or medium chance to burn. Freezing just basically is similar to stun. And then burn just basically does self-inflicted damage every turn to one enemy. And it's a medium chance, so it's like 20 to 30% chance of actually inflicting any of these debuffs or effects. His first action skill, Ice Block, does 175% to all enemies, so it's an AoE. It's another one of those AoE units, which is great. Oh, so it's a double AoE. Not bad. Increases power by 30%, while the second one increases plus ultra gauge by 20%. But this one has a shorter cooldown, though. Okay, nice. His first auto skill, I'm a Hero. When HP is 50% or higher, increases plus ultra gauge by 25% once during battle. So you basically have already 25% and plus 20%, which is 45. You already have like almost half of your plus ultra gauge done. That's pretty nice. Then his second auto skill, Below Freezing, when HP is 50% or less. Let's see, increases power by 30%, and when HP is less. When your HP is less than 30%, inflicts freeze when you're attacked. Okay. So there are 2 conditions in the second auto skill. If you're less than 50, you get this. And then if you're less than 30, you get this. But if you're already less than 30% in just one shot, you probably already have this entire thing ready to go. But then this, I don't think this will pop off during the beginning of the battle. But it might. because assuming you go first, you'll probably have 45% of your plus ultra gauge ready to go, and you probably do want Ochako along with the Todoroki because he's a green unit, so she could probably like heal. So she could probably give more power with this kind of, no, not power, crit. She'll probably give more crit to Todoroki for sure. And then once she uses her healing ability in the second turn, this is going to help him a lot, especially when there's no like once only auto skill. So this technically can work very, very well. It doesn't stack though, it doesn't stack, which sucks, but at least it works. But is he worth it? I don't think entirely. Okay, maybe I'll move these guys down just a bit because, like I said, this guy is only focused on pro heroes while this guy needs villain. Well, even though they're both good villain supports for each other, we just need more villains. But this guy's not too prevalent. But maybe he's not like the best pick for now because you probably do want to end up just having. Okay, maybe I'll put him in A. I'll put him in A for now. I don't know. Okay, I haven't used him because I haven't like actually pulled him yet, but that's what I'm assuming how it would work. And then next up, we're gonna go to SHOUTOUT. No, my goodness. Oh my god, we're gonna go to Aizawa. My goodness. Where is he at? Right here. Shota Aizawa. Just see if we get the very last one, and then we'll just move on. Shota Aizawa actually. Okay, so here's how he works. His plus ultra does 550% to single enemy, removes all buffs from an attacked enemy. Okay, so you have to attack that specific enemy first before using this plus ultra, and then does medium chances seal skills for 2. Oh, seal skills. That's really good. Increases pro allies power by 20%, and let's see how many pro heroes we got. We got All Might, obviously. We got Hawks, and we got himself. I'd say this works. You technically do have enough pro heroes to actually use his auto skill right here. So if you get All Might, you get Hawks, you get this guy. Definitely does work. His second auto skill, when HP is 50% or less, increases speed by 30%. Not bad. Let's see what else. His first action skill does 300% to a single enemy. Randomly remove one buff from the attacked enemy. Okay, randomly remove one buff. So if you want to, let's say for example, the enemy has attack and defense. If you use his action skill on the enemy, and if it randomly removes one of the wrong buffs that you don't want to get hit, that you don't want to see on them, it could probably end up being bad. But that just depends on what the enemy is. They could probably be immune to removal, buff removals, I don't know. Well, that's just a future reference, but possibly this could go either good or bad depending on how it goes. His second action skill, Capture Cloth, gives him 300% damage to a single enemy. When used in a chain of 2 or more and succeeds, has a medium chance to seal skills. So okay, this not guaranteed. So this has a 20 to 30% chance of sealing skills. Same thing with here, except you need a chain of 2 or more successful chains, or you need to have a chain that's of 2 that is successful. Okay, now I'm starting to rethink this. I'd say he's an okay type of unit. He's not worth rerolling for, but there are enough pro hero units in the game. I don't know what. I think the reason why All Might's not on here is because he's not on the tutorial banner, but you can actually get him for free. But for now, that is it. These 5 units are, I would say these top 8 units are really worth pulling for, especially when you can actually make a lot of combinations between them. But I think these 3 would pretty much make the ultimate team. Or maybe there are combinations I would recommend going with. And especially when you have this team, that I'm going with, this actually does work pretty well. But for now, that's it. This is the longest video I've ever done for this channel, so hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so. I am on the road to 100 subscribers for the Ultra Impact channel. If you guys want to see more Ultra Impact content, news, updates, and summons, I'll post my first summoning video hopefully tonight. Hopefully, I'm not sure. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.